And welcome back. John Schaeffer joins us now for this week's Dollars and Cents segment, sponsored by the Resource Center. Good to see you again, John.
Good to see you guys again.
Yeah, good to see you as always. All right, today's topic is housing market insurance tips. Okay, you guys know this. The housing market's kind of crazy right now. And we're not just talking primary residences here. We're talking about all sorts of properties. But you say be careful what you believe when it comes to shopping for insurance.
That's right. Yeah, and there's a couple different areas here, as you see. There's Airbnb. We do insure those Airbnbs. I've actually had someone call me from Utah and was like, hey, I'm buying an investment property in Branson. We're going to Airbnb it. A lot of companies don't do that. We do those at the Resource Center Insurance. We also, if you want to be a full-time RVer, because the housing market's so crazy right now, you can't find a house and you've got to be a cash buyer, I think, to even get a house, seems like it.
Yeah.
I've seen on Facebook. But we do a full-time RVer insurance.
Do you?
So we can write that if you want to buy an RV and live in the campgrounds or do a little travel.
You know, some people used to do that just because they love it, but I think you've got a good point. Maybe nowadays some people do it because they have no place else to go. Yeah.
Right. And
But
maybe
it's a special type of insurance.
That's right.
Don't just think auto insurance is going to cover you.
Right.
Exactly.
And don't think just my regular RV insurance covers it. You have to have that full-timers on there where it covers your personal property and other things. But the way the market is, maybe camp out for 6 months and see what happens to the market and get your house. We do tiny houses too on insurance. There's a lot of those. That's a big thing where you pull the trailer and you got your tiny house. And
you can move it around. Some of them you can, and some of them you put them in a stationary spot and Airbnb those. But yeah, a little bit of everything.
One thing that seems to be very important there too is renter's insurance.
Correct, yes. And that's one thing I recommend for everybody is renter's insurance. A lot of people, I don't need it. Well, I had a client, the neighbor on the other side of the duplex, cell phone charger popped, caught the bed on fire. By the time she got her husband to put the fire out of the water hose, it engulfed the whole bed and it went over into my client's part of the duplex and burned his stuff.
Oh my goodness.
They didn't have insurance. My client did. We paid out $35,000. So if my client didn't have insurance, the other people didn't have insurance, he'd be out $35,000 on his personal property.
The owners of the building don't necessarily cover your personal property.
Correct.
Exactly.
That's why the renter's insurance.
I lived in an apartment once that when I was in grad school, that got hit by lightning.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see the heavens through the hole in the roof and the insulation. It paid for everything, but it's really not an expensive thing for the most part.
No, 15 to 20 bucks a month for renter's insurance. Really great. I know when the one apartments here in town, when they caught on fire and then the sprinkler systems went off and flooded all the apartments. There were several people that didn't have insurance and it messed all their stuff up. Great point is the renter's insurance.
All right, not good. You got to consider those things. All right, you also say consider the value versus replacement costs when it comes to some of these.
Right. So right now with the housing market it is and the cost of rebuilding has went up. A lot of insurance companies we see now is redoing the coverage A, which is a reconstruction cost. They're upping that up on the renewals to compensate for that. Yeah. So everybody's insurance is probably going to go up a little bit this year because of the way the cost of materials have went up. So that's one thing that kind of helps. Now, as you look here, I guess we're going to roll into this, the ACV or...
And the vacant home, too, because you got to consider, don't forget about those.
Right.
You've got one sitting there, no one's in it, but that doesn't matter.
That's right. Yeah. So we have a company that does vacant home insurance. So let's say you buy a home and it's kind of a fixer-upper deal and you have to have insurance on that. We do vacant home insurance. It's a little bit more pricier because there's no one that lives there. Somebody could break in and steal it.
Right.
Something could catch on fire. But we do vacant home insurance, and that's for the person buying a house and like, hey, I want to remodel it and make it my touch versus the way I bought it from the client.
It's yours, insure it.
Right. Correct.
Exactly. Yeah. But bottom line, be careful what you believe when you go to the Google, you don't know what you're going to get. Right. Be careful. Yeah.
So I see this a lot too. We'll talk about beware of online quotes. Some of the quotes are great, but a lot of times it's people that have no financial value in your house or yourself on insurance. So I see this a lot of times. You get like mail flyers, like, oh, you can get your house insurance for $600. A lot of those are, you have to have the perfect world, like the perfect credit, the perfect house with a new roof. But a lot of times I see cut down coverages. On liability, they only do $100,000. We do $300,000 at the Resource Center Insurance, just because, like, if someone falls at your house, you're covered up to $300,000 versus the $100,000.
And as like anything else, you get what you pay for. Work with professional people.
That's right.
Yes, get good advice. There's the QR code, so get your phone out, to open up your camera, take a picture. It'll send you right to the Resource Center. But if you have a question for John or Bruce or anyone, visit resourcecenterinc.com or give them a call, 417-882-1800. John, thank you so much.
Thanks so
Good to
much,
see you again,
guys.
John.
Good to see you as always.